Hi everyone, Lisa here, and today I'm making over my Tallboy dresser, which is part of my Master Bedroom series. This is a single drawer dresser and we're making it over in a more French country style look. So I've already removed the handles and this is what we're starting with. So let's get started. First, I'm just giving the surface, the top surface and the drawers a light hand sand just to remove any surface scratches or little marks that may be in it. I've removed the drawers and getting it ready to paint. The paint I'm using is by Accent and it's an interior wall paint. It's a premium low sheen paint and I have 4 different colours that I'll be using on this piece. I have Tranquil Retreat, which is a very light grey, Stormy Shadow, which is a medium grey, Linseed, which is like a beigey colour, and Grey Moggy, which is the darkest grey. So I'll be using a bit of all of these on this piece. So I'll be converting this paint into a chalk paint, and the way I do this is using some plaster of Paris. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll see that this is the same recipe that I use pretty much in all my pieces since discovering homemade chalk paint. So what I use is 1/3 of a cup of plaster of Paris mixed with 1/3 of a cup of water, and then add 1 full cup of your paint color of your choice, and then we mix this all together. So for this piece I'm using Stormy Shadow, which is the medium grey, and that's pretty much it. Then we can just start using it and just start painting your piece just like regular chalk paint. So I've given the whole piece 3 coats in this medium grey, which is the Stormy Shadow, and on the final coat I gave it a very light sand. So for the drawers, I'm actually going to be doing the drawers a little bit darker than the rest of the piece just to make them stand out a bit. So I'm using some 320 grit sandpaper and just giving them a very light hand sand first, just to remove the graininess before we do the final coat. So for the final coat on these drawers, I'm using a mixture of the Linseed, which is that beigey colour, and the very darkest grey, which was the Grey Moggy. And what I'm doing here is just brushing over lightly with the beigey colour. So I've put the beige on first, mostly in the middle, and then I'm getting the darkest grey, which was the Grey Moggy, and concentrating that on the edges first, and then just lightly brushing it over the beige. So it kind of blends, but I still want that brush stroke sort of look. So it's not going to blend in completely. I still want like a streaky look so that you can still see the beige coming through as well as the darker grey on top. And I just did the same technique for all 5 drawers. So I did this while the beige colour was still wet, just so that it would blend in a little bit better, and just go very lightly with that darker grey over the beige. So as you can see here, it's got that sort of streaky look where you can still see the beige coming through as well as the darker tones on top. So this is the piece now covered in 3 coats of the medium grey. And you can see the contrast here with the drawers. So what I'm doing here is I'm just stenciling on some numbers. I just printed out some numbers off the internet and just cut out the inside to create my own stencil. And I'm just using the lightest grey now to just stencil on some numbers. So this is all the numbered stencil on the piece now. And what I'm doing here over the whole entire piece is using the lightest grey and just doing a dry brush technique over the whole piece, just to give it that vintage antique sort of look. And if you want to know how I do this technique, I'll leave a link in the description box below for my bedside tables video, and in that video I show a little bit more in depth how I do this technique. What I'm doing here is stenciling the top of my dresser with this stencil here, and I'm using white just as a contrast, plain interior white, just to stencil on this pattern in each of the 4 corners on the top. So you can see here now a better view of the contrast with the drawers. And now for the final reveal. So here's the top of the dresser now with the 4 stenciled corners and the stenciling and paint technique on the front of the drawers. I'm actually really happy with the way this one turned out. I actually really love the colour of the drawers. It turned out a lot better than I was expecting. And that's just a close-up. You can see the different layers of colours coming through. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, subscribe to my channel because I have a few more furniture makeovers coming up. The next one in my Master Bedroom series will be my actual bed, a queen size bed, which I'll be doing over in also the French country look, and that will be the last piece in my Master Bedroom Makeover series. So if you don't want to miss out on that one, make sure you subscribe. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.